Today I'm actually going to make two different cards. And I was just saying, one is I'm going to be using this embossing folder. So it's a word embossing folder. And I was just sharing that any embossing folder that's got like words or script would work for this. And I think any embossing folder would actually work, but I'm just using words to highlight something. So I'll share that with you. So that's the first card I'm going to be doing. And I did say to bring your blending brushes and ink because I'm going to be using them. And today is all about backgrounds and creating backgrounds and then making cards from those backgrounds. The second card that I'm going to share with you today is, I just said it's something that everybody could do, but it's a Marmite technique, I think. So you're either going to love it or hate it. So I'll leave it up to you, but I do want to share it because I think it's really good and easy to do, and everybody will have access to the things that you need to do it. So I kind of think, why not? Let's give it a go. So the things that I'm using, I'll just share with you, nothing too amazing. I'm going to create a circle template and use that on my card and create an inked background through the circle. And this is basically out of an Easter egg box. So you don't need lots of fancy tools to create, things. Basically, you can use packaging and, various things that you'll have in your stash. You could also just, if you've got circle dies, you could die cut a circle just out of a piece of card, and you could use that. So I have got some other masks here. I'll just share with you. Just move my inks out of the way for a second. I've got quite a few homemade masks that I've created using my dies, and they are a really cheap and cheerful way of getting 2 for 1 out of your dies. So let me just grab those. So here's one that just as I was saying, like a circle cut out of a piece of card. Then you could layer that on top of a piece of paper and then start inking through the circle, which is what, as I say, we're going to do today. But I've got this smaller circle. Also, another one that I've done is die cut a Christmas decoration. So let's just pop that on there. And so this is a die I've got, and I've just cut it out using a cereal box. And I can then again layer that on top of a piece of card and ink through it and create a scene in the bauble. So just, it's a little kind of thought process to say, what dies have I got that I could use to create a mask rather than having to go out and buy something new? Okay, so that's basically why I'm sharing that with you. And just as well, that every year Asda does stencils as well that are quite fun. These are only 78p, and there's 10 stencils in here of all different styles. So there's a snowman. I know, not that we're doing Christmas yet. Reindeers, baubles, snowflakes, Christmas pudding, 3 kings, crowns, a stocking, a Christmas tree, a Santa, and some mistletoe and holly. For 78p, I think that's absolutely crazy. So don't discount when you're out doing your weekly shop that you may be able to pick up some crafty things in your local supermarket. Okay, and that's cheap as chips, I would say. So just a few ideas. And there's some other ones that I've just used from cutting out. That's a die that I've cut out, and I can just put that on. Even these little die cuts here, you could ink through them. So there's lots of opportunity, as I say, to use your stash. Okay, so that's the first thing to just share with you. Just one side. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of plastic and I'm going to pop it onto my card, and I'm going to get a little bit inky. So what is going to happen is I've actually got kind of grid here underneath my, I've got some scrap paper basically, and I'm going to do it so that the circle is about near the top of the card. So it's not in the center, it's going more towards the top. And I'm just going to position it so that I have got an even amount to the left and the right of my card stock. And I'm working with C6 cards today, so I am doing 2 layers on my 4x6. Well, it's a 4 by 5 3/4, and then I've just taken a 16th off the side, and then I've gone down. So it's literally just a smidge on my borders today. But please do it if you do 8s, quarters, whatever your borders are, you work with your borders. I've just taken a smidge off and come down, and then I'll have my white layer on top of this. So I'm going to get some inks. Now I have got some distress inks, and I also have got some Stampin' Up inks, and I've also got a whole range of different inks. So I know I'm going to be using blue and yellow because they're the colors that I have got in my background. So I'll use a mix of the inks just to show you that you don't need to go out and buy another set of inks. You can use what you have. So I'll use a distress ink, a bog standard, just normal ink pad. I'll use a Stampin' Up ink pad. I'll use a Stampin' Up Tahitian and maybe a purpley color. So let's just grab the purple distress ink. So just so that you can see that, as I say, any inks work with this technique. So I've got my card underneath, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the blue. So I'll just open my blue ink pad. I'm going to get my blue brush, come into the ink, and I am going to ink off on my scrap to start with. And then I'm just going to hold down my mask, and I'm going to just come in and start just adding color. And there's no right or wrong way to this, and it doesn't matter what it looks like. It can be splotchy, blotchy, whatever. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is really forgiving, the technique I'm using. Very forgiving. So I'll come in with the blue. So close that. Then I'm going to go with yellow. So as I say, I'm just going to show you different inks so that you can see you don't need any special inks. I'm going to come in with the yellow now and just blend into that blue and then come further down. So I'm just crossing over a little bit into that first color. Okay, so that's, I know it looks orange, but it is yellow. And then I'm going to come in with the distress inks now. So I'm going to do an orange. This is Spice Marmalade. And again, I'm going to come into that color. Mix it a little. Okay. And then my last color is going to be a purpley color. So last one is going to be purple. So this is Dusty Concord. See, it's quite a dark purple, but I'm just gonna come in. And again, I'll just blend a little bit into that color. Okay, so that's my circle completed. Just put the ink so I'm not too inky. And then if I peel this back now, and I have to be very careful because I have got ink on the plastic around the mask. So I'm just going to move that away, well out of the way so that I don't get too messy. Now this is my circle, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop it into the embossing folder and run it through my Big Shot. So I do want some, you know, really good sort of in the actual colored circle. I'd like to see some words, you know, like the happy birthday words. So I'm going to position it maybe with the cake actually. Maybe a little bit further up, maybe have happy. Let's have a look. If I do it down a little bit with the cake, I could maybe get the happy birthday there. So I'm kind of looking, I've got part of the birthday coming over here. I've got happy birthday that will be in that circle nearly. And I've got the cake, and then all the rest will just be on the white card. But this little focus point with the cake is going to be on my circle. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly run this through on my Big Shot, which I have actually got on the floor here because it's just easier. So I'll just quickly run that through and be right back with you. So I'll show you what that looks like. So we've got it now where I have got the birthday cake and everything all nicely in this central colored circle. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my white ink, or just a light ink, you know, a light color. I'm going to get white. I did have my white ink out, so let me just see where it's put it. Put on here. So I have got like it's an iridescent ink pad, basically. So a white, silver, anything that's going to basically highlight over this colored area. So just a very light colored ink is what you're going to be looking for. So as I say, white would work absolutely perfect. Maybe I'll use a sponge. I was going to just kind of drag it over the top, but it might be a little bit difficult. I might just come in with the brush, and what I want to do is I just want to go and highlight the words, the raised letters. So I'm just going to come in with my brush, and I'm just going to very, very gently blend just on the raised. Oh, I've gone slightly over there, so I might just come in and just add this sparkle on the raised. I've kind of got it on more than the raised, but I'm not too worried about it because it's sparkly. And I'll hopefully be able to show you what it looks like. You don't have to do this bit. This is just an extra step because you've already got your highlighted circle. So going over it with a lighter ink is only an option. If you don't have a lighter ink, that's fine. Do not worry about it because you'll it'll still look good behind, you know, with the color behind it anyway. It's still going to pop out at you. So I've just gone over with a little bit of an iridescence. So it's kind of made it pop. That circle's just popping. Okay. And then that is your card basically ready to layer up. And as I say, I picked the blue and the yellow because I knew I was going to use those colors. So I'm going to layer up my card now onto a card base. I'll just show you the one that I did earlier. So this is the one I did earlier today. It's all layered up, but I'll just get this one nicely layered.